Being here on Martin Luther King Day and celebrating our freedom in our country and all of us being able to come together for all. And we got 2 weeks left, guys. 2 weeks left for the month. And we've got to finish strong, guys. We've got to finish strong. Some of us aren't where we want to be, right? And I promise you, our base shop's going to finish strong. We just did 5 and 5 over the weekend. And it seems like in our base shop, everybody works on weekends. And now I got to get my base shop working during the week, okay? Because I'm also, it's fun to know that we've got Group Me, okay? Not Grope Me, it's Group Me. And for some of y'all, but it's nice to be able to see what's going on in Bill's hierarchy, because we have an RVP Group Me as well in Whittle's hierarchy, and to see some of the things that they're doing. So if Jason Gills can have 80 appointments, that's BS, okay? 80 appointments, and that was not including what they already had scheduled. So would you agree they're focusing on what? Appointments, phone team, stuff like that, and what I'm doing is I'm asking this whole squad to get back in the game and what we've been taught and how we've come up, how we've been raised is to have those things, and we kind of get away from things that work, okay? And versus winging it and whatever we have, we have. So I mean, if y'all can do that, that'd be excellent, okay? So that's a big time tool, Group Me. So if y'all would, who's on Group Me? All right. Make sure you invite people to the Rhino Nation Group Me, and then also if you're in the respected RVPs, obviously the RVPs in that one, and then in your base shops, okay. The other thing is I need a select team to help with our Rhino Nation website, okay? This thing is going to be crazy good. I was thinking about Chris Burrell, Jonathan Bajeron, right? Some of the ones that's helped Shade with their technology there. Also Shade and Secor, I need some help with that. Pictures-wise, can you go turn that air conditioner off for me if you don't mind? Thanks. No. Just don't put it on heater, just go and bring it up where it goes. Actually, turn it off. So, because I didn't want to see support like this. That's surprising. Yeah, George putting a jacket on, right? But I need help with that. Kirby, some of you guys, I've got some key names here that's good at the technology side. And I'm going to kind of give you a flavor of what it's going to be like. They want to open and kickstart our web page on Wednesday. Okay, now here's what I'm asking y'all to do. Get jacked about this site hierarchy-wise, okay? I know you've got a phenomenal team. I respect that and all that kind of stuff, but it's got to be the Rhino hierarchy, okay? It's got to be the Rhino hierarchy. We will eventually have feeds for your hierarchy until you become a successful senior vice president. The cash flows over $250,000, then you can have your own, okay? But until then, it's total, all out, balls out. Here's the hierarchy, okay? So can everybody be okay with that? Yeah. And kind of like I solemnly swear, okay? Yeah, because it's all over the place. And here's the thing. I need your help as if it was your site, because it is your site. If it's going to be, it's up to us, and it's going to kickstart on Wednesday. And what I told D'Artagnan, and he's doing the best job he can. But some of y'all been around here in our hierarchy a lot longer than D'Artagnan. All right, have a better feel for what we do and stuff like that. He's doing the best he can, but I need. Let me just give you a couple things that's on the site. It's freaking crazy good. Okay, tell him which one call it. Greg's saying about our organization.
He said we're one of the most hottest organizations to work with, and that the stuff that we have.
The ideas and this is crazy. It's like when I'm working, because Bill don't want to do it, but he's kind of flashing it over to the people, right? Mm-hmm. So now what he's realizing, he thought Bubba was the deal. Next thing you know, he's like, man, y'all got some serious sick ideas. Uh-huh. No, I said this is how you build a business, okay?
Right.
So let me kind of give you one, okay? That's on there. There's going to be a partner page on there, right? So everything I always wanted to have, we used to have a newsletter that went out, which he couldn't believe that either. So they're starting a countdown clock. They've already set a countdown clock. He's got a techie guy that's already emailed me 5 times over the weekend. He's already put together the thoughts that we put out. He's already put together what we've talked about on a phone call. So he just needs to know how we're going to do it. So let me start with this one first, countdown clock. I thought it'd be a good idea to have maybe, tell me if this makes sense, maybe I don't know exactly how this countdown clock's going to be, but a countdown clock like on numerous things. And it could be a rolling countdown clock, one's for the convention, one's for the April Fast Start School. Just tell me what y'all think. I don't want it to be confusing, but it's the countdown clocks, one for the hierarchy, right? And then obviously one for my base, and then your bases. Like, what's the goal? What's the countdown clock? And it could be a scorecard, right? how many people's registered, and all these different things. They can set it up however we want. Okay? So even within my page, maybe we can go to the Titan page, maybe we can go to the Elite page, and it's got your own countdown clock where it's not confusing. I don't know, but they can do whatever, D'Artagnan said, whatever we want.
Whatever you want to do.
They're going to build our site.
Right.
Is this making sense?
Right.
So that's number one. I thought that was a tremendous thing. The other thing is the partnership page. Man, we have got to get pictures, videos, PowerPoints. Like Jennifer's got the PowerPoint on the wasteland and going to the land of unfamiliar and getting to the top when she did the mountain one, the love languages, all the different things. And you're not taking medication this morning, huh? Charles is like, she's all fired up. I'm fired up. No, I'm playing. I'm happy to be here. You're fired up. That's what I'm saying. All right. So that's what I'm playing. All right. So watch. All right. So this is on video, right? Okay. So God. Here's the thing. And this is the other thing. We're trying to make this with these videos where we literally start building our own content cafe. Okay. Does this make any sense, guys? So now we've got to make sure, like Kirby's doing a presentation this morning, that's going to be on our content cafe. Come on, guys, y'all get what I'm saying? So we're going to duplicate our efforts. All right? Y'all feeling what I'm saying? Yeah. All right. Now, that's going to be very important. And we also have, on the ego side, I was like, okay, man, I've always wanted to have the RVPs, our own RVP 100,000 learner book. But since don't have as many 100,000 learners right now, my ego side was like, let's not have the page. But I was like, no, how can we get more 100,000 learner people if we don't have the page? Yeah. So right now, we're going to have an RVP section with y'all's pictures. So there's going to be a tab that says, here's the RVPs in the Rhino hierarchy. And it's going to be the pictures. Then it's going to be the $100,000 what? Earners. Right? And it's going to have bios on each one of y'all. Yeah. So I need help with that. Does this make sense? To organize and set the page up by Wednesday. So to me, for new people to be able to get on this page and they see who our hierarchy is and there's a representation of you as well as it is me in this organization, that's why I'm asking you to get involved. And we got to have it done by Wednesday because everybody and their grandma, there's only 10 sites right now. And they're giving us their time. And I told D'Artagnan we can't drag our feet here because next thing is going to go to other people that they want to set their sites up.
Right.
Does this make sense? Yeah. All right, so I'm trying to cover this morning because there's people in here that I know can help with this. So whatever you have, whether it be files on videos of our organization, you know, even like they love the Gaylord Texan video and stuff like that. So stuff like that. Then they also have PayPal. PayPal, well, they literally, I should show up the site. Can you pull up the site right here?
Okay, one sec.
All right. So because if you saw it and you saw the different tabs, it actually is there something? Did I say something funny? No, dude. Okay. All right. All right. I'm crazy. You're crazy. All right. Okay. So
Kevin's not home. We're sleeping all weird.
All right. So if we have a PayPal account, okay, through the hierarchy where literally all you got to do is press the convention tab, and it actually goes to the convention, shows the videos and all the way we want to set it up for our team. All right. So literally, you can actually pay right there on the spot. Kind of give you an idea. If it's rhinonation.com, now we can send everybody to that, and it drives everybody to our page. It's going to have all the success system on video, all that kind of stuff. A welcome video we can do. And he's getting it set up, okay? Weekly, it's weekly, isn't it? No, it might be weekly. All right, you know it better than me. All right, so my point is, with this, you'll drive them to the site. They've already got the video on there, but they're going to make it really cool. You know, the world and stuff like that. They love that. By the way, they said, "Man, we got to give that to everybody." I said, "No, you ain't." Okay, but they will. They probably will. Okay, but my point is, and we got to fix this rhino thing. It looks like crap to me. It's all dark right here. You can't even see the rhino head.
Still working on it. Be done.
So, but we got to have it done by Wednesday. Okay, so this is a site that your teammates are going to be able to go to. And if you look right here, drag this down.
Okay.
13, come down.
Okay.
Keep going.
You have to subscribe to Content Cafe.
Yes.
To do that.
$9.99 for the year.
Yeah.
$9.99 for the year, which is incredible because now you can get your people on Go Solo and all the different things that we have access to there. But look, you even have a POL tab, a Go Solo tab. They can go right here. Just press it so you can see. You can go right here. Go straight to POL. Pulls it right up. Boom. Right. So you'll be able to pull up that. Go back. You'll be able to pull up that. We'll be able to pull up our Facebook Rhino page. And like I said, it's a work in action. I mean, this guy can do anything. All right, so if we want to put individual teams on here, we can say, look, Rhino RVPs, Rhino Nation RVPs, and it goes to that tab and maybe to spit out and go to those different sections where we can literally drive people to this site. Okay, pictures. What I love here. Let's go up here though for a second so they can see.
All right.
Promotions. We need to work on this. I didn't like some of the things that are on there. Some of the key little points of our promotion guidelines, but they're asking for all this stuff, and we need to make sure we put this together. So that's, if you roll it, scroll.
He didn't put bubbles on there. They didn't put bubbles on there. He's waiting for me to send it, so I'm giving it to him today.
Okay. Partner page. So there'll be a partner page. So he's just waiting for the stuff to come up on here.
And they can have a partner perspective once someone.
Yeah, they'll have all that. We'll be able to use this whole thing. Okay?
Baller page.
So, what's that?
Baller page.
A baller page. Yeah. We also have. He couldn't believe this idea. Like in the moment, like this, different things like this. In the moment page is going to be the videos that we take in our respective offices. When you get that snapshot when somebody got their license, and then we video them. Hey, how's it feel to have your license? Graham, how's it feel to have passed that 66 and 63, right? So now if we have the video of that in the moment.
Yeah.
He was jacked about that page. So now we have all those videos in the moment. Trey was a high schooler, just got #1 in the state and top 4 in the nation. It's right there. So that way that now it's a site that we can send people to that literally drives everything that we believe in and what we do.
Can we update this, or do we have to go through them?
No, we can update everything.
Yeah,
Once it's set up, and then he's also got files, which we can talk to D'Artagnan about. He's got, because I was on every call.
Right.
But once we've got files that they've already got pre-done,
right,
that we can go to and pull from, pictures that he's already got from the company, everything else, that we can make the site off the chain.
Right.
So like front page used to be?
We already are off the chain, right? Just like this little feed, yeah.
But it's like Weebly, they got it all together.
They got it all together. It's all there.
They got a special contract with Weebly to do it.
So
Unlimited.
now the key thing, guys, let's go down a little bit more so they can see some of the things.
All right.
Like meetings and events, all the ones that are coming up. All right. Group me, go down. Group me, so it's right there. So literally the feeds will be able to come right across. Group me, then it'll go to the different group me's that people have accounts with on there. Does this make any sense, guys?
Yeah.
All right, so it's crazy. They were tripping out on some of the things we were sharing. And they said every time they talk to a leader in a company, it just keeps going, getting better. Okay, it's kind of like a site that's developing as we speak. See you in Hawaii. They know they hadn't announced that yet, but they put it there, so we can start doing that and show the qualifications for that. And then let's see, convention. Press this one. So it comes up, which is not all done yet, but it comes up and it puts their name. Scroll. This isn't showing the same thing. So this isn't a good idea of what it's like on my phone. He sent me stuff yesterday.
Right.
It's awesome. He's got the
That's what he put up there so far.
He hadn't set this up yet. It's got videos and all the different PayPal thing, and it's got a little link. How many people, which size shirt do you wear, all that kind of stuff, right?
Stuff you put together already before he put it on there. That must be.
He's waiting for us to give him the idea so he can build it. He's building the site right now.
Hey, Charlie, you know all your videos and all that is on. You remember that webpage with me in Dallas? Can you put it off of that?
Yeah,
because
we just got to get it.
Right.
It's on that will ran from all your video presentation.
Oh, and recruiting bill.
Okay. Perfect. So that's what I'm asking some of y'all to do. If you got some stuff like in little hidden secret compartments and you got stuff, pull them out so we can put them onto this content cafe. And then now we have something to build on. Does that make sense, guys?
Yeah. Can we put other leaders stuff on there?
Oh, absolutely.
Because I've got tons of single room.
Oh, we can put anything, and it can do anything you want it to do.
Mm-hmm.
So like they're already going to have access to, like on our site, it's going to have the presentation, how to get started. Like there's going to be presentation, like so if we use the success system videos and all that stuff, which he keeps saying, look, it's fine, but the kind of success y'all had, put your own people on. We can start selling our own team and our own people. And
Can you get him to add downloads in general?
Yeah, we can add all that. Anything we want.
I got PowerPoints out there, you know what?
Right.
I mean, but I'll talk.
Listen, guys. He gave me 10 gig.
Oh, it's unlimited space.
Unlimited space.
He said unlimited space, unlimited video.
You can't top it out.
You can't top it out.
So watch. There's
no reason not to put something up there.
Correct. The other thing that he knew that everybody was using these towers to burn CDs and DVDs, and this is what Bubba was trying to explain. And now we're almost like dubbers of, of all the stuff all that stops. Because literally, it's all right here.
Right.
Okay? So you can drive people to this site. Now, obviously, if they don't pay $9.99, you still have to have certain things, right?
Right.
But, I mean, that's simple. $9.99 a year. You can't get on our site. This is part of our...
It's 83 cents a month.
Right, part of our system.
Promotion, you buy more.
Part of our system, okay? So y'all good with that? So I need to make sure that in these next 2 days, I'll be able to get in contact with some of you guys and be able to have this information and your ideas and stuff like that. And I'll feed you whatever I have, whatever the emails I got. Can they open the ones I sent to you?
Yeah.
Kind of give it, and just to kind of share with you one more thing on that. It's bigger than this. There's going to be a client portal that we're developing. One of the things I brought up on the call, and he goes, man, I can't believe you brought that up. Jerry Byer was wanting the same thing. Where there's a client, but I think I was sharing with you, there's a client portal that they already have in development right now where literally when you prospect or there's people you're talking to out there that you can literally send them to outside of this. And it actually will have a spot where they can collect the FNA data and everything, okay?
I know we're talking about doing the recording of you, like people that, like, you know how the build disc is, where they tell you about how you get started and stuff like that. Well, we can do one like that, or you a video.
We need to do that.
Yeah, like on the get started page.
We come up with a mock presentation, like here's the welcome. Hey, I want to thank y'all for joining the Rhino Nation. But boom, here's our focus, here's our goals. It's gonna be the best decision you've ever made. Right, something like that. Me and Jennifer can do a welcome for our organization, right? And that's what Greg wanted from our team. Okay. It takes time, takes effort, takes group support here. Anything else I'm missing on that?
That's it.
Okay.
That's it.
And it also has another portal that's going to open. Another thing that's going to open up off of this is
the client one.
The client one. I know that, but there's also going to be a building one or something like that. I forget which one he talked about.
I can't remember that one.
But there's another one that's going to come off of this. But it's phenomenal, guys. Look, I mean everything you need. Then it's going to have our addresses and stuff, and we can have our whole agenda, like where every meeting is, HOMA, boom, 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 all the different opportunity meetings that are going on the different nights, okay? The other thing I wanted to cover, in this local office, we're having a Tuesday night meeting, a Wednesday night meeting, and a Thursday night meeting, okay? So there's going to be 3 different meetings. We're also going to be doing training after the meetings, okay? Kind of like what Kirby's done, training after meetings. We've done this in Texas. It was successful for us, but it was on a Friday night. We're not moving away from Saturdays, and I'm going to share that with you in a second. But what's going to happen is the Shade's going to be on Tuesday night. I don't know how I got sandwiched to Wednesday night. I think I'm going to make that move, okay, some kind of way. But I'm on Wednesday night, and Brian's on Thursday night currently. All right, so there's Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, and then. How I look at it, if we can have your support on this, is we can have one citywide, which I've always been wanting to do, one citywide once a month, okay? The citywide is a showcase where whether you come in or not, I think it'd be a great thing, but a citywide, I mean, I traveled in from Thibodeau home every week for an out meeting, and I had tons of people come. As a matter of fact, most of my guys came from those Bayou regions, okay? And that's how we grew. But, and I'll talk to you more about that, Kirby, but one of the things we're going to do is we're going to do a citywide once a month, okay? A citywide, so we got to start looking for a location outside of this office to hold 150, 200 people. Y'all all awake? Or y'all all alive?
Yeah.
All right. And I love the idea because now everybody gets to showcase themselves, but tell me if this makes sense. Now at a citywide, now at the end of the meet, first off, you got the best of the best presenting in our organization, right? But then you got different teams showcasing. Somebody's up to 25 people, somebody's up to 50 people on their team. You know, we got music at the event. We bring a music deal, we filming it. And then now, think about this. Now, once a month, you get to showcase all your new licensed agents. So it's kind of like a mini blitz as well. So now at that event, we showcase, hey, look, here's all the licensed agents for the month. So if our goal is to have 20 licensed agents in the hierarchy, wouldn't it make sense if Brian's got 3, Gerard's got 2 or 3, right? Or whoever else has people that gets, and then we got what? Recognition certificates. Here's all our new licensed agents, boom, right? And then we do a promotion thing where we got all promotions going across, right? So now we can literally showcase and know where everybody is every month by having that event. Okay? And the other thing I like about it is now we're not like this, the original presentation we gave, we're not like a hand, we're like a what? Fist once a month. Every 6 weeks, so in between those meetings, okay, every 6 weeks we're gonna have a Super Saturday, okay? A Super Saturday every 6 weeks, probably at the same location. We can work a deal out with that same hotel or wherever we do it, function. If anybody knows any place, they can give us a heck of a deal. It holds 150, 200, 300 people and has potential to grow. I like to make sure we get that done. All right? Can y'all help with that?
Right.
All right. Yeah. Okay, cool. Just start talking around, man. My sister's in the hotel business, and we might be able to work something out there too. So the bottom line is we want to grow to grow. Okay. So now at each location, whether it be Tuesday night in Houma, Tuesday night here, Wednesday night, Thursday night, or even if it's in Dallas or Shreveport, now we're starting to grow our organization. Now we have a place to come to once a month to kind of showcase, man. We get everybody together, man. Oh, that's the rest of the rhinos. Okay. So how many of y'all like that idea?
Yeah.
All right. I think it's awesome. The other side of that is now you got from instead of 3 or 4 people speaking, or let's say it's 1 at your respected office, right? Now you got immediately what? 4 people at each one, which gives us 12 to 15 speakers in training. Just come on, guys. Is this making sense? Hello.
Yeah.
Because I feel like y'all not up to that. Y'all
Right.
or something. Okay. But why? So now you got what? You got 4 people that are learning and training to become speakers and trainers and RVPs themselves versus 1 or 2 people that's leading the whole thing. There's no way you can grow if it's just 1. Y'all with me on this?
Mm-hmm.
Plus it gives you your own identity. So maybe an idea for you and your respected offices. So watch here. So now we got more trainers. So if we're doing Tuesday night, Wednesday night, Thursday night, here locally, one thing I don't want to have happen, let's say Kirby it would be beautiful if Kirby had the same problem, right? When we was going to multiple nights because they had so many people and so many leaders. Here's what I don't want to have happen. People say, oh, that night, because you're always going to have somebody that's going to be higher than the other. Oh, I'm going to that night. Now, that night's better than the night I'm currently at. They ain't not, look, you go to the night that your team is on. Does this make sense? Mm-hmm. So I want y'all to hear that because I don't want, here's one of the things I always grew up with. We're not going to go to multiple nights because you should be in a field. Right. One of the things we got away from is everybody just kind of comes to the office. Nobody's out in the field. Get in the field. Get in the field. You got one time a week to shoot your business up and bring people to. Because if not, you have every wind of what? Doctrine. And then we have people saying, oh, I like that team. Oh, I like this team. Man, they do it a little bit different. They do it better. Yeah, that's true. That's why we're doing a 1 time a month all together. They can see all the flavors. Does this make sense? Yeah. But we don't want to have anybody say, oh, I'm going on that team. I'm going on that team. I'm doing this. Y'all got to be with me on this. Y'all got to understand that I'm the coach. Hello.
That's right.
Like kind of shaking your head and stuff, right? The fact is, I know how to build this thing, okay? Right. Why do you think Bill's been doing it in one meeting, one night for all that time? First off, it's convenient for him because he's got, what, enough room to hold 200 people plus. We don't have that nice situation, right or wrong? Right. Yeah. And then when we do, guess what? No problem, we'll go do that one night thing. Y'all hear me on this? If not, you can only fit 75 people in here. You can only grow so big, you can only fit 50 in your place. How are we gonna grow? Okay, so y'all got to understand and be with me on this in the decision. I don't make all the right decisions. I make bonehead decisions. I'll be the first to change it if it's not right. Okay, but y'all got to just flow with me on this one. All right. So what does it cause Brian's team to do? What does it cause Gerard's team to do? Help me out.
Get more people.
Got to grow. Got to grow. Okay. What does it cause Shade's team to do? Got to grow. What does it cause me to do? Got to grow, because now if I show up and I see the same daggone faces in my face. Would you agree? I don't like that. I like the people, but I gotta what? Grow. Just come on, help me out, guys. Because if not, we gotta get like comfortable with the little 40 people we have showing up. Yeah. All right. So that's a big deal. So there's some key points to that. You get more training in. So now if we've got Tuesday night, Wednesday night, Thursday night, you got more people training, and you got more what? Time to train. So now Saturday becomes available. So everything in me, I kind of quiver. Kind of like, I'll share this with you and some of the guys, because all I've done is Saturday training. So it has never not worked. Does this make sense? So why would I change with what works? Come on, help me out, guys.
Right.
Okay? So I'm not asking you to buy in. I'm just saying, okay, here's how we're going to do it. Wouldn't you think it would give the RMs an opportunity to lead on Saturdays? Yeah. Wouldn't you think it would give the opportunity for us to go out and more appointments on Saturdays? How about more potlucks? How about more social gatherings? How about more contests? Would that be pretty cool?
Yeah.
How many of y'all like that game plan? How many of y'all like it now if you got a Tuesday night meeting or a Wednesday night meeting or a Thursday night meeting, guess what? That's the super night. Now can you get everybody, now you're focused on getting everybody there because there ain't no other time. Look, this is the time. Now we're going to come in the meeting, guess what? And we're doing training right after. So now we start at 7 o'clock across the board, Tuesday night, Wednesday night, and Thursday night. 7 o'clock across the board. Training starts at 8:30. Is everybody with me on this? Yeah. Training starts at 8:30. It's routine. So if now the meeting ends at 8:15, you got a 15-minute break, then guess what? At 8:30, we start our what? Training. Oh, but Troy, I'm getting with a new person. Fantastic. Keep getting with your new person. Training's starting. Right? So we should have so many people, it don't matter if you're with your new person. Right? But you also should have prepared them because how cool is this? Meeting ends, and guess what? We got a new person in class.
Right.
Hey, make sure you stay. It's going to end at 10. Guess what? We go out to eat after. It's a long night. Man, can you handle that? Bam. Now they go in a new person class with the best trainer right there. Here's how you get started. Bam. I like it.
Like maybe like fast start planners for the new people.
Yeah, it's all right there. Boom. They go right into a fast start class. Right from the new person night. Not right from my night. Y'all got that? Okay. So now the Super Saturday becomes fun. Super Saturday becomes like, man, I can't wait to have a Super Saturday. Because now we all come what? Together, okay? So that will be done every 6 weeks, but now what happens the other 5 weeks for Saturday? Man, we can do specialty training. We can have a securities training class on Saturday that can be given by our specialists and say, okay, we got a 4-hour class on securities. We got licensing challenge. Guess what? Here we go. Everybody come up on Saturday for licensing class. Right? Hey, we need to set appointments. Well, guess what? We're going to have an appointment setting script class on Saturday. Anybody want to come? Come. Come on, guys. Does this make sense? Tell me out.
We've done this for about 2 years now, and since then, our #1 most productive day of the week is Saturday.
Look at that.
We had 4,000 or 5,000 and 4 recruits this Saturday. I mean, every Saturday is
how-
our #1 day of the week.
It's amazing. It's amazing.
Yeah,
Right?
People get off work and stuff like that. Like you said, work time.
4, 5, 6 appointments.
Set appointments all day long.
But would you agree you had to be very proficient and good at what you were doing on the nights you had the op meeting?
Yeah.
I mean, you had to juggle that thing and then be prepared for your class and boom, it's like running a whole event on one day. Right? Y'all get what I'm saying? And then y'all go out to eat and stuff like that after and hang and, right? I mean, that's awesome. Okay, so now people can expect, hey, look, 7 o'clock to 12 o'clock, I'm Primerica. Right? That's my super night for what? Training and getting people started.
It also gives people with kids an opportunity to only have one babysitter a week as opposed to 2.
So that's 4 a month. Pretty good idea, right? How about people that have kids and events going on Saturday, right? Ball games. I can't tell you how many ball games I've missed, or what had to come to training and jet out and go to another event, and then go to another event, and then come back to training and close. Okay. So one of the things that I love is freedom, right? And I also like having what? Fun. But what I also want to do is build a big team. So that's where I'm still a little bit what? Because it's new for me. You see what I'm saying? Right? So if you have any questions about it or concerns, come see me. Okay, right now this is how we're going to do things. It's going to require us to have a great deal of planning as a leadership squad. It's going to require us to be on the same page together to make sure whatever night you're doing your stuff, it's all in alignment with everything we're doing on Tuesday night, Wednesday night, or Thursday night. Does this make sense? Because if not, you got to hear what I'm saying. If not, yours becomes an extra special, right? There's nothing wrong with that because you can have your own identity. But we want to make sure we're kind of all in unison with what we're doing because next thing you know, you'll start having people say, I want to be there that night. I want to go to do this, and we're not going to have any of that. Okay, I'm letting them know all up front. It's not happening. Okay, y'all good with that?
Yes.
All right. So it's kind of like Bill's rules in his office. Say, look, there ain't no networking, there ain't no nothing going on in this organization inside of this office. Okay? Because when you have everybody together, that's what happens. People like different people. Okay? Now, so on that, I know I went long on that. Let me give you one other key point on that. I like it because now I can have potlucks on Saturday, contest on Saturday, go out to eat, specialty trainings, boot camps, wholesalers can come in on Saturdays and stuff like that. A lot of things can happen. Matter of fact, wholesalers can come in on the nights you have your meetings and your trainings because they're already in town during that week.
They like you and stuff.
Yeah, because they're wanting to go home on their weekends. Come on, guys, y'all hear me on this? So
You get King documents there for 3 days.
yeah, he can do all 3 meetings. There you go. Okay. So I mean, I'm jacked about it, but also see now we can go from 75 people to from this office to 150, 200. Y'all see what I see?
Right.
And not have to go to a location and pay more money. You can do it right here. Then we just have one time a month where we all come together and we say, look, let's pack this sucker out. So Kirby, can you see your team having 100 people at a citywide? Right? I'm talking about your base having at least 50, 60, 70, and what? The rest of your RVPs have what? The other groups. And then you can expand, you can grow. All right? So today, Louisiana, tomorrow, the world. I'm always in for change. I'm always in for getting better. So what we're going to do this morning is we're going to watch this little clip of Martin Luther King. Okay? And I really believe there's a lot of people that don't understand the total. I mean, you need to go get this video set. I've had this for years. But it breaks down everything. In credit, the legacy from the violence and war and call of arms and time of turmoil, progress. And I have a thing that has all kinds of different quotes, and it's a Bible deal and it's actually Martin Luther King's Bible, what he lived by and what he wrote down. And one of the things what stood out to me the most is when he said, hey, if people only knew me by myself, how scared I am. And I don't know all the answers, and please God, he would pray to God, please God, give me the answers to be able to get people to understand what my mission is, what my vision is, and all that stuff. And I think we're a lot like that a lot of times, okay, where we have those silent moments where we're like, Dean, please, come on, be with me. You know, help me here to understand and help other people to know where I want to go and where I want to help take them. So let's watch this clip, and we'll go ahead and get started with our training. Appreciate it.
I have a dream that one day this nation will rise up and live out the true meaning of its creed. We hold these truths to be self-evident that all men are created equal. I have a dream that one day on the red hills of Georgia, sons of former slaves and the sons of former slave owners will they be able to sit down together at the table of brotherhood. I have a dream. My 4 little children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. I have a dream. Every hill and mountain shall be made low, the rough places will be made plain, and the crooked places will be made straight, and the word of the Lord shall be revealed, and all sight shall see it today.
All right. Help me bring up Kirby Rhodes.
Yeah, I was going to do the FNA training, but Daniel wants me to talk about Boca. I'm not going to do that. All right, guys. What we're going to do today is cover some basics on kind of what we do to sell the value or train on the financial needs analysis. But before I do that, I'm just going to preface this. You know, if you're being taught a different way than what you're fixing to hear, listen to your RVP. If I'm your RVP, then listen to what I'm saying. If I'm not your RVP and I say anything to the contrary of what you're, what?
Clicker. Oh, Troy got it.
If anything said to the contrary, that, you know, I'm not saying that this is the perfect way to do it. This is just the way we do it, and I was asked to show how we do it. So again, don't like Troy was saying a second ago. Again, you know, everybody has their own flavor. There's 1,000,001 ways to do this thing, 1,000,000 ways to skin a cat. It's just the way we've done it for years now, and I'm going to talk about the value I believe that this particular service that we offer has. So, with that disclaimer said, let's go ahead and get started. One of the things that I want to, how many of y'all in here, honestly, really just don't know how to do a complete financial needs analysis, or don't know why to do a financial needs analysis? Anybody in here? Okay. There's a lot of people in here that are not honest. But anyway, when it comes down to it, guys, there's a lot of other companies out there. Okay, I looked up the numbers today. There's approximately 2,000 companies other than Primerica that sell life insurance. Okay, there's probably the same, if not more, companies that sell mutual funds. There's not quite as many companies as there once was that did loans and mortgages and things like that because of regulations and so forth. But I'm sure we'd all agree that there's a lot of companies that can offer clients this pretty much the same exact thing that we're offering. Okay, some of them have cheaper term insurance than we do. Y'all need to know that. Okay, some of them have mutual funds. Some of them have probably more access to a greater number of mutual funds. But the bottom line is that there's no other company in America that can offer what we can offer in the form of a financial needs analysis complimentary. So you need to understand that, because these companies, you really, guys, they're agents. These whole life agents, these universal life agents, these investment brokers are so highly skilled in the area of sales that not a one of us combined can match their level of skill when it comes to sales. You need to understand that. They are extremely good. You know what I'm saying? Their companies spend thousands of dollars a year. Just talk to any of these guys and ask them. It's almost a requirement for them to go to these sales trainings and boot camps once a year for their entire career. Okay? Because their companies understand that they're in competition with all these other companies out there, so they're going to be as good as the training of their sales force. Whereas we don't have to be that good. We don't have to do that. How many of y'all have never even been to a sales boot camp before? The last one I went to was in 2004.
Wow.
And I'm honestly, I probably will never go to one again. I'm going to tell you why. We closed 9 out of 10. You know what I'm saying? 9 out of 10 with what I'm fixing to show you. So there really isn't any more necessity to go, in my opinion. If not just me, but pretty much everybody in our agent-wise that does that. So my point is that if you're trying to compete with these guys selling life insurance or selling loans or selling investments or whatever it is, you've got to be just as good as them. But if you have that silver bullet in your holster, right, that thing that they don't have, then all you got to do is get good at the one thing that they cannot offer, and you're going to sell more value than they can ever possibly sell. See, Hector Lamarck says price is an issue in the absence of what? Value. Price is an issue in the absence of value. If that wasn't true, then there would only be Motel 6s out there. There wouldn't be Ritz-Carltons, there wouldn't be JW Marriott's or all of the places, because everybody would just want a bed to crash in. You know what I'm saying? And people that say that, I still love it. People say, well, I got to spend money on a hotel. I don't want to do is sleep in there. Well, you've never been on a Primerica trip before. Because I'm telling you, it's every time we go on a trip that's not a Primerica trip, I'm sitting there, me and Sakura's like trying not to sound like some spoiled rich kids that we're like, this place sucks. You know what I'm saying? The towels feel like sandpaper. The bed's like this table. And it's, $199 a night rooms. It's like, God, this place is terrible. Can't wait to go back on the Primerica trip where you you lay in the bed and you don't want to get up. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So anyway, the value, we're going to talk about the value of it. What is it that the FNA can do that these other companies can't do? Is a complete snapshot of everything that they need to know, okay? Everything they need to know, and we can do it without any pennies out of their pocket. There isn't anything, in my opinion, more valuable than that. And a lot of times I think people don't use this program because they think it may add an extra dimension of work to their plate. And I'm going to tell you, like my dad always told me growing up, my dad's a perfectionist, and I have a lot of bad traits because of that. They say if you grow up in a home of a perfectionist, you have a tremendous amount of OCD tendencies, and I do. My dad always told me that if you do things right the first time, it may make you work a little bit more the first time, but you're going to save a lot of work having to go back and fix it. And so the FNA is a little bit more, if we go on an appointment and somebody doesn't have life insurance or has whole life insurance, it'd be very easy to close a policy that night and not go back. But the way I've always been taught, or the way we've always thought, is you do the analysis, do everything for them, and you go back to second thing. It adds a whole another element to it. However, which one's the right thing for the client? It's all a matter of your own opinion. It's only a matter of your own opinion. Imagine having a GPS that only gave you routes on the interstate. That'd be good if you were on the interstate, but sometimes you're not on the interstate, right? So you want the complete deal. Imagine yourself. This is what you always want to imagine yourself as the client. What would you want? Would you want somebody to take the time, even though we don't get paid on debt stacking? I understand that. Even though you don't get paid on that stuff, even though you may not even be securities licensed yet, you can't even do the investment part, is you as the client, what would you want? Would you want somebody wanting to get in, get out, write a sale, not put together a total plan for you? And look, if you just want the sale, then no problem. Then that's what you do. So anyhow, get back into it. And again, I'm really concerned when I do something like this, because I know I'm passionate about what I believe in, and sometimes that can backfire on you, especially when you're saying stuff that maybe not everybody believes the same way. Okay, so I want to make sure that I'm cautious today and don't say anything to step on anybody's toes or anything like that.
Well, one of the things that what he's really saying, because we've got to talk about this, a lot of y'all have the same beliefs that your skill sets, you haven't really practiced this or been taught this or went out on your own to do this, so that you're not currently doing it. So the reason why I want Kirby to go over this is because he spent countless hours with his core group and others. There was a lot of that didn't do it, but there's at least 5 to 8 of them that are all over this thing, that have learned it, become good at it, and I want to integrate that through our whole organization. Okay, so y'all understand there's a learning curve. There's a learning curve. That's what he's saying. But I do want this in our organization.
Well, I'm gonna tell you, like he said, I'll tell you right now, I don't know, there's not a single person that I have in our entire organization that's been through a Hopkins boot camp. I don't believe. No, I'm talking about my organization.
Okay.
I don't think there's any of them that's ever even really read a sales book. I did all that stuff when I got started, and nothing increased my ratios of closing 2 appointments more than what I'm talking to you about right now, than the Call Atlanta service that we already had, that we were already paying $25 a month for anyhow. Well, yeah, I'm saying for most of y'all, it's $150 when you get the ring. Yeah, I don't know what that's all about. Maybe if you go to SNSD, it's like $1,000. But anyhow, guys, here's my point. I spent hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars. Shade and I remember this. We were reps basically in the business, and he and I were broke as broke can be, and we were trying to figure out a way to go to Hopkins boot camp in Canada. Remember that? I remember that conversation. We were like, dude, we put aside some money. Me and you, we're just gonna go to Hopkins at Yazoo Povich places. We wanted to get good. And the bottom line is, guys, this right here, I'm gonna couple with you. It solved all our problems. We went through boot camp. I went to 2 of them. I drove from Houma to Houston and back in the same day. We left at like 2 in the morning. Remember that? 2 in the morning. A few people on our team who drove straight to Houston, did an 8-hour boot camp, drove straight back. And none of that has ever produced the type of value of just sitting back and looking at what Primerica already has in place for you to use to your clients. Okay? So it doesn't matter what presentation you use, honestly. This is what I'm using now, but I'm gonna be completely honest with you. I've probably done 10, 15 different styles of presentations. Honestly, mainly a lot of it is because I just got bored with the old one. I wanted to do something new, my own personal self. But it's not the presentation. This is what we use now. This is what I use, okay? I don't really go through a lot of detail. My average presentation time on an appointment is between 10 and 15 minutes. And I just go through and sell. Obviously, I do more than this one page. Okay? I go through the company, statistics, and all that stuff, but ultimately, this is where the beef is for us. Is I want to show them a before and after. Think about the logic behind that. And the person that came up with this concept is Hector Lamar. The person that came up with the FNAs is Hector Lamar. There's a reason why on his CDs they say that he says, "Oh my," in his own words, "Oh my God, if I had the FNA, I would never miss a sale, ever." He says that on several CDs that I've listened to, and he says, "I would never, ever, ever miss a sale because there's so much value in a financial needs analysis." I heard that and just took that literally, okay? And what he said is that people don't really want to go and they don't want a basic finance 101 course. They want to know, what can you do for me? So the A and B thing, all I do is build value, okay? And whatever you do, if you build in value, fantastic. Don't change anything, okay? But the point is that the presentation should have a goal to culminate or to finish in a financial needs analysis with strong commitments, okay? Strong commitments. And I cannot stress that to you enough. I did an appointment Friday night, and presentation was done, 10, 15 minutes, great presentation. The woman was, answered the questions all the right way. Got into the FNA, the very last question, I said, look, if when I come back, if I can bring you something that's a value that you see that's in your best interest, in every shape or form, you know, and it's affordable to you, would you follow and implement that plan when I come back? I don't know. And I said, and immediately I got taken back because everything she said up until that point was exactly what I wanted to hear. But then I got to that point and I started saying, hold on a second. So I said, so what I'm saying to you is that if I come back and show you guaranteed strategies to fix your financial future, what you're telling me is you may not follow it? I don't know. I said, well, let me ask you a question. Is it really that big of a deal for your financial future? Is it really a major priority in your life right now? Not really. Wow. So, and look, that's her right. She just got a divorce. She's got a kid. She's got apparently some money coming from the divorce. She ain't sweating much of nothing. So guess what I said? A lot of people, without doing the FNA, would try to go back on it. I'm not going back on it. I took the FNA and I simply said, listen, I don't want to waste your time. Please listen to that, because, man, I'm telling you, there's nothing that you would say in my home that would piss me off more than if you said, I don't want to waste my time. You know what I'm saying? Look, I ain't coming back because I don't want to waste my time. Get out of my house. You know what I'm saying? I don't care how good your program is. You're going to come in my house and say that? Trust me, I've had to really work with some of our people. You know what I'm talking about? Where they were like, I ain't wasting my time. No, man, don't be rude like that. Look, Omega, I don't want to waste your time. Obviously, this is not a very big priority right now, and that's completely fine, and I understand that. But here's what I'd like for you to do. If you don't mind, keep my number. I'm going to keep this on file. And if there ever comes a point in time where you wake up and say, maybe, you know what, I need to really get my ducks in a row. I really need to start making some plans, then I would love nothing more than to help you to do that. Can you keep my number? Gotcha. Perfect. So now guess what? I'm not going back, and we're talking about closing 100%. You should close 100% of the appointments that you go back on. Not every one, okay? Some of them are in that situation. But you should know when you leave that night, that first night, it should be black or white. Not, you know, it should be, what I mean by it should be no gray area. It should be any like, I don't know if I'm gonna close this thing or not. Yeah, it should be like, okay, on this specific time, this specific date, this amount of premium is going to hit the board. Right. We got go back tonight. I know at 6 o'clock tonight, another recruit's coming in the business for our team, and at least 1,500 in premiums hitting the board. Why? Commitments were there. FNA's done. Does that make sense? So when it comes down to it, whatever presentation you do, it doesn't matter. As long as you can build enough value to get them to say, hey, I want one of those financial things, financial needs analysis. And my first experience with this really was, and I'm going to tell you where it stemmed from, and then I'm going to fly through this presentation and I'm going to answer any questions y'all might have. I was maybe 4 months into the business, not very long into it. I remember this like it was yesterday. I had 8 appointments 1 week, personal. That was the point in time in my career where I thought recruiting was dumb, that I was going to do it all on my own, figure this thing out kind of thing. Wasn't too bright of a decision. But I had 8 appointments personal. That means I made phone calls, I prospected, I set them all, I did all the dirty work and went on them and did the FNA analysis. I didn't close one of them, not one. And that ticked me off more than I can even begin to tell you how bad it ticked me off. And I remember sitting there at that night, I remember where I was at. It was about 11 o'clock at night, and I was so mad. I was like, ain't no way I'm going through another 8 appointments without closing something. I couldn't go to sleep, so I remember calling my upline, Stacy at the time. I said, Stacy, what can I do? I just totally screwed up 8 appointments. And I wasn't just mad because I didn't close it and make money. I knew that those 8 appointments, those people could have benefited from those plans. I just didn't get them to see that. And Stacy pointed me in the direction of a guy that was my age, that was lighting it up like crazy, making a lot of money. His name was Jonathan Navarro. He's an RVP right now. I think he's at about 170, 180,000 in income. Don't recruit anybody. That's all himself. Yep. So obviously, if I wanted to get good at sales, he was my age, he was doing it, so I got his number and I called him, finally he answered, and I said, dude, I need a few minutes of your time. And to this day, we got a good friendship, basically stemming from that call. And he said, are you doing an analysis? And I said, yes, I am. And he said, are you selling the value of it? I said, Apparently not. And he said, carry a sample with you. And I said, what do you mean? He said, take a few minutes and show every person that you're sitting down with a sample of what they're to be expecting. So what I do is I carry on my iPad here a sample FNA. You get this directly off of POL. And all I take is maybe 2 or 3 minutes at the end of a presentation, after I do the input sheets, I'll say, Shade, real quick, I want to show you specifically a sample of what we're going to be bringing back to you. And I'll just cover some key points. I don't have enough time to get into that today, but I'll cover some key points on this. Like this first page, Shade, is going to be such a great indicator for us to help you get to where you want to go, because just like in the GPS, the first thing it's going to do when you plug in where you want to go, it's going to initialize and figure out where you're at. Because it'd be hard for you to get to where you want to go if you don't know where you're starting from, right? It's going to give us this little number right here called your net worth. And T. Harv Eker's book says what? Poor people know what their hourly wage is. Rich people know what their net worth is, okay? So the first step, Shade, is we got to figure out where you're starting from. Then we're going to show you specifically how to go from where you're at to where you want to be, with no way to fail unless you don't follow, okay? So how valuable would that be for you? So then I'll go here and I'll show. I said, look, these guys here had some debt. They were going to get out of debt in 2035. Through our plan, we showed them how to get out of debt in 2019. Would you agree that they were excited about that? So if something like that could happen for you, I'm sure you wouldn't turn that away, right? Especially since it didn't cost them any extra money. And then we showed them how to make sure that their kids were able to go to school without getting out of school with 30 years of debt, $30,000 of debt. Behind them. And if you start off a race 30 laps behind the field, I don't care how fast your car is, it's going to be hard for you to win the race. And then income protection. And I'll spend a little bit of time on this because I want them. Most people understand that. I don't remember exactly. King Road had this presentation, but like in 1965, there was like 180 million people in the country, and there was 195 million policies. Today, there's 320 million people with 100 million policies. The reason that is, guys, is the value of life insurance has, in people's mind, has just not diminished. Why? Because people are not taught, and people are living longer, and it just is what it is. So I want to sell the value of this. So Shane, let me ask you a question. These guys here basically stated that Donna said if something happened to Jack, okay, because Jack makes 66% of the income, because that's on the first page. Donna makes 34% of the income. Donna said if something happened to her husband, she'd want the funeral paid, debt paid, kids' college paid, mortgage paid. She'd also want half of his income to be able to still eat the same food, still have the same cable, still have the same clothes, all that good stuff. Would you, if Tammy were on the side of me, would she probably say the same thing if something happened to you?
Absolutely.
And would you say the same thing if something happened to her?
More than absolutely.
So here's the thing: they needed, based on these answers, they needed $698,000 in coverage on him, $351 on coverage on her. But all they had available was $131 and $46. So if he would have died that morning, she would have been short $567,000 with 3 kids, with $123,000 staring at him in college expenses, $33,000 in debt, $145 in the mortgage, and only $131 to pay for it. Let me ask you, in your honest opinion, how could she have done it?
Not gonna.
Mathematically, it's a guaranteed plan to fail. Okay. Now, there's only 2 reasons that they were in that situation. Either Jack had this secret obsession with screwing his family over, or he didn't know any better.
Yeah.
What would you think it probably was?
I hope it's a second.
I hope it's the second, right? So here's the thing: how valuable is a plan like this to somebody that wants to do the right thing, they just simply don't know how? So what we're going to do is like I told you earlier, I'm going to put together the plan, and we're going to come back. And the promise I'm going to make to you is not that we're going to help you. It's if we can't help you, I'm not going to come back and waste your time. Okay? If I can't add any value or any benefit or anything like that, you're not going to have to worry about me coming here and trying to say, because let's be honest, I can't get you to do something that's worse for you. Would you agree? It wouldn't make much sense to do that, okay? But there's a very high probability that I'll be able to make an improvement in some way, shape, or form like I did with them. In that case, I'm able to do that. Would you be excited about that?
Yeah.
And if it shows you cut and dry exactly what to do, would you follow it the night I come back?
Yeah.
No reservations. You don't have a cousin that's a financial planner that you're going to take the business to him or anything like that. All right. If you notice, guys, in that little 2-minute segment, I've got him to commit 3 times. Yeah. He's seen the value, commitments, the whole 9 yards. A lot of times people say, well, you know what, you can only do FNAs if it's a 5-star appointment. Let me help you with that.
Wrong.
The easiest FNAs are to do, the quickest ones to do, or the 65-year-old retired person that lives without any debt that's on Social Security, because it literally takes about 5 minutes to do the FNA. And honestly, it probably only comes back showing that she needs life insurance. But if you're going to come to that conclusion without it, come to the conclusion with it and be consistent. Because here's the thing, what you don't want to do. If you're training somebody and you do one time and you don't do another one another time, guess what happens? That new recruit's sitting there thinking, why wasn't it done? And what classifications did you use to say that person doesn't deserve a plan? Now that new recruit's sitting there thinking, okay, well, how do I decide that? Is it where they live? Is it what they look like? Or what? So if you try to, and I understand, look, it does take 10, 15 extra minutes. It takes paper. It takes, and I would do this stuff professionally, just my own opinion. I stock up on a big old thick stack of from Office Depot, some professional cardboard, pretty looking stuff, and some clear covers with the little binding things that Troy and them used to have. The little, I don't know if y'all still have that thing that just makes a bunch of little holes, and you make it professional, make it pretty. Don't go there stapled up and unstable and it's all over the place, because it's look guys, we've had people that have done that, and I've had complaints from the trainees saying, man, there's just no organization there.
Right.
Most of the time, statistically, the second highest group of personality group in the world today is structure type people. If you go in there and you show them a professional, pretty, and typically speaking, probably 95% of the time, the structured person takes care of all the finances. I teach people about money all day, every day, have no clue what's in our checking account. No clue what our bills are, nothing. And that's the way I want it to. She does all that. I'm not an S. I teach people how to be structured and organized. She doesn't. you know what I'm saying? So my point is, you go in there with a solid plan, you're going to have somebody like that eating out of the palm of your hand. Does that make sense? So,
that's what you're going to cover the, and I know, because I think a lot of people maybe don't know how to make sure they're doing it every day. Like, and you finish that the before and after, and the next step, how to go straight in,
Yeah.
I don't know if you have it on there or not. I don't know.
well, basically, it says at the bottom, Shade and Tammy, on a scale of 1 to 10, if 10 were the highest, how would you rate your desire to become debt-free, property protection, and financial independence? A 10? You said that pretty quick. Pretty confident about that? All right. So if there was a way that I can show you and ensure that you're going to be able to accomplish that goal, and it's either going to do one of two things. And this is important. Get this down. One of two things. One, it's going to tell you that everything you're already doing is exactly what you need to do. Therefore, you don't need me. The other one is going to say you're not quite doing everything. You got some room for improvement, and I can help. Either way, it's going to end in a good result. Okay. Either way, whether it's we help you or not, you're going to be headed in the right direction, and it's not going to be a hope thing. It's going to be a guarantee. Is that pretty positive? Yeah. So now what I need to do is I need to take just a little bit of information, find out what your goals are, and then I'm going to go back, plug it all in, and work up a plan for you, and come back if it's beneficial for you. You're going to have 100 out of 100 say okay at that point. Here's what you don't want to say. So if it's okay with you, you want to do a financial needs analysis? No. Then some of them are going to say yeah, but some of them are going to say, I don't know it's going to be. No, they're going to say, we'll think about it, because you're giving them an out. They already told themselves in their mind before you got there they wasn't doing nothing. Okay, they already did that, because this, unfortunately, the world we live in, there's a lot of crap that we've got to guard ourselves from. And just like Troy and Jen, came into their first op meeting and said they wasn't going to do nothing. Okay, right. The reality is I'm sure Bill didn't sit down with Troy after and say, hey Troy, so what'd you think? Would you like, is it okay to get started? He probably said, okay, man, he probably asked the threads of success questions and just said, hey, let's get on the phone, let's get 30 people in 30 days. And he recognized what he was, and he just went. Probably didn't even fill out the IV that night. Yeah. Just got you going, right? You see what I'm saying? And look, that's not manipulative at all, okay? It's called assumptive closing. They're telling you all the right answers. They're saying, yes, I want to do this. Yeah, 10 out of 10. Do you have a plan? Nope. Would you like one? No, they already said all that. Just do it, right? It's free. It ain't like it cost them anything. This is not working.
It's not on.
No, turn it on the side. Hold on.
Does anybody have a bottle of water that I can have?
Here you go.
Thank you. Okay, so regardless, like I said, regardless of what presentation you use, purpose is always the same. Darkane, if you could, give me a little time thing so I know how much time I got left.
Okay.
To end the gathering of an FNA, your end purpose is to do what? To end the gathering of FNA data with strong commitments. Now let me have, there's two different ways you can do it. You can do an FNA on Primerica Online through Turbo Apps, or you can do it on Call Atlanta. If you don't have Call Atlanta, I would suggest doing it. And the one thing that I know about the new FNA is it doesn't offer what's called a triplicate of choice, which I use on every single appointment. And I'll go through some verbiage on that if y'all like in a little bit. But that's why we still use the old one. And I know for a long time there wasn't all the modules there on the new PO. I don't know if they're all there now.
They're all there.
They're all there.
You can? Okay.
You have to manipulate. You gotta know what you're doing.
Okay. Well, look, our guys, we use Call Atlanta not for any other reason. That's just the way we've always done it. It ain't broke, so we're not fixing it. And until they get rid of Call Atlanta, which hopefully they never do, we're going to keep doing that way. So what you want to have is you want to have an input. You want to have a pack of input stuff. Okay, y'all know it. There's tons of different variations of it. But I use the Hector Lamarck one. And let me see an FNA there real quick. While he's looking for that, what you want to accomplish through this is you want to have this out. That's maybe one of the things that I learned from Hopkins that I still apply today. Honestly, and maybe I should say this. You guys listen. I'm just saying I don't use the verbiage. I think what we offer is good enough that where you don't have to use all these pre-planned closes. I really think that you don't have to. I mean, you may want to do that. I'm just saying I don't. This right here puts us in a league of our own, okay? Puts us in a complete league of our own. That's plenty of time. So if you have this is what you want to do. I don't use my iPad for a presentation just because it's all screwed up for some reason. They haven't, the translation, the words are under the lines and all that different stuff. So I still use the flip chart like he's got right there. I'm able to, if I need to draw on it with a little red dry erase marker or whatever, I can, and I can erase that sucker right, whatever it is you need to do. But the point is I want to have this somewhere in the vicinity to where I can, when I get to the conclusion of that presentation and they say, 10 out of 10, I want to be able to slide this out right there and start writing. I don't want to have, let me go be right back, it's in my car, or any of that stuff, because what happens is any silence of time, and here's what you gotta understand about the psychology of the appointment. The husband's fired up, the wife's fired up. But in the back of their mind, the husband's sitting there saying, I wonder if my wife is gonna be on this. And the wife's sitting there saying, I wonder if my husband's gonna be on this. And they're worried about that. So now if you give that delay, then guess what they're gonna say? They're gonna look at, Shade's gonna look at Tammy, Tammy's gonna look at Shade. Both of them feel the same way, but they don't know how to ask that to each other, and they're gonna say, hey, we need to talk it over, or we need to think about it, can we get back to you? And guess what happens? They both fired up about it. They're both ready to go, but now you leave, and guess what? They talk about it, they're excited, and they say, well, we'll give them a call tomorrow. Anybody's ever seen a movie that got you jacked up to where you want to run through a wall? Yeah. Did you still feel that way the next morning? No. It happens. It's called life. You forget a lot of crap. Chances are they're not going to call you back. Does that make sense? So have it prepared right there, like literally under your presentation. That way you say, great, what age, and have your go-to line. Mine is, what age would you like to retire? Why? Because everybody wants to think about that. Right. Everybody wants to think about retiring. Okay? So I'll write it down, and that's it. I'm starting right there. Boom, and you're off to the races. But my purpose for this particular thing is to gather info, but more importantly is to get them to commit to me that when I come back, they're going to do whatever it is I tell them to do. Make sense? All right. And if you want to know how, go ahead and get a copy of Shane Rubin's How and Why to Get Commitments. That I do there's a whole other training class that I can do just on that one topic that could probably take 2 hours. How many times have you heard me do that one? 15, 20 times. Everybody, I mean, that's a repetitive thing, because I'm telling you, there's nothing more important when it comes to actually closing. And if you look at all the things that come from it, imagine you close 5 or 6 out of 6. How many appointments are you new people going to want to keep going on with you? If you get somebody to the district in 5 or 6 appointments, they're probably going to want to go on more. Right. But on the flip side, if you go on 10 appointments and close 2, you're gonna have to be one serious motivator that following week to get them to set 10 more appointments. Absolutely. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So they want to see results. They want to see happy results. They want to see referrals. They want to see recruits. They want to see those things. In the FNA, I'll tell you, if you want to recruit, I heard people say, that, kitchen tables are for selling and interviews are for recruiting. Yeah, Ruben used it for, and look, that first page and it says the goals and all that stuff, that's an excellent page from a recruiting standpoint, okay? Find out what their goals are and all that stuff on the front end. But there's a tool in the financial needs analysis that literally recruits them for you. But if you're not using that analysis, you're missing out on your best recruits. Because why? If you sit down with a KT that's 5 stars, they know other people that's 5 stars. Anybody like me, when you're in college, single, partying all the time, or whatever it was, you don't hang around with people that marry with kids. Right or wrong? You see them at weddings and stuff. Yeah. But you don't hang around with them. Then all of a sudden you get married, you have some kids, you don't hang around the partiers anymore. Right. Whenever Ruben and them came into business, they were out in the clubs every single night. How many times did I go with you? Not one time. Okay? But now, if I get married, have a baby and all that different stuff, they're hanging out last night with us. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. So people that are 5-star typically know the people that's 5-star. People that are 18, 19 doesn't mean they can't do the business. That's just who they hang around with. So you get, if you plant a fig, you're gonna get a fig tree. You're not gonna get an apple tree. Does that make sense? So if you recruit across the kitchen table, you're gonna recruit people that have a warm market of people that just like them. So you recruit, and almost probably 10 out of 10 people have a shortfall. They're not making enough money. So bring a copy of the sample FNA and briefly show them the benefits of having it, just like I just now did, and show how much better off they will be when they follow their own plan. Show them that.
So Kirby, just real quick, who has a sample FNA? Who doesn't have one? Okay, so would you agree within the next couple days you got to go print so where do they get the sample?
I'll tell you right now, very quick. No, I'll tell you. Go to POL.
Because what? Here's the point, guys. If we don't take baby steps with this, next thing you know, you'll hear this presentation and you'll walk right out of here and you won't implement it. Okay, guys, y'all understand? I promise you, Kirby took baby steps with his team and he made sure that he had all copies of this. It was all laid out. Here's how we're doing it. Go ahead, Kirby.
Yeah, Shane brought up a good question. When do I cover the sample FNA? I do it like this. This is the way I've found it to work very well. The presentation builds value. It gets them excited. Then you do the FNA input sheet. Now they got to tell you how much is in their checking account, how much is in their retirement account, how many times they use the bathroom that day, all that stuff. And you start to see that excitement kind of vary a little bit. So after the FNA input sheet, I hit them up with the sample FNA, so that way the last thing on their mind isn't the fact that I know everything about their kids, right, or everything about their family. They see a sample FNA and they're left with a taste in their mouth like, man, I can't wait for this guy to come back. Very rarely, I'm telling you, very, very, very rarely does our second appointment ever reschedule. Very rarely. I've had people say, look, I can take off of work to come back and do this. I've had somebody say to Kirby, can we make this easy? When you come back, I'll just give you power of attorney and you take care of my money for me. I swear I've had that said. No, I don't want that responsibility. I don't want that. So my point is that I'm not a genius, guys. I just follow in the company. You understand how much money and time and resources that Primerica employs to make sure we have that access? Yeah. Another one that I absolutely tell you right now, I'm an idiot for not taking the time researching it, and is Morningstar. 4,000 or 5,000 a year per person in this room with a securities license, and I just said, well, that's complicated. For years I didn't listen to that. I didn't look at that stuff, okay? Because it was complicated. Guess what I did, Gerard? I made a call and said, this is complicated, tell me what to do. Literally, inside of 2 minutes, it wasn't complicated anymore. Isn't that something? So watch, if you go to POL, listen up guys, if you go to POL, over somewhere top right, you'll see the word help. You click on help, and there's going to be a bunch of stuff. Look for the thing that says financial needs analysis, click on it, okay? Then over on the right hand side after you click on that, it'll say US sample, English. That's it. All I do on my iPad is I downloaded it into iBooks, so that way I don't have to carry around a folded up version of it. It looks perfect. I can go to where I want to go. I can delete stuff I want to delete. Is everybody with me on that? I'm losing y'all.
Everybody got that? No, that's big time stuff. That's why I got Kirby to slow down a little bit and we'll add more time, Kurt, because this is big. Because watch, listen guys, y'all need to listen to me. There was 11 hands went up. It's easy to worry about your 1 or 2, which is very important, guys, but there's a whole group in here And there's 11 people that raised their hands that didn't even have a sample FNA.
That's more than half the room.
Correct. There's 22 people here, so watch. 11 people had their hands up, don't have a sample FNA. Which in the Rhino Nation webpage, we're going to have within promotions is FNA, FNA, FNA.
Okay. That's awesome. And
It's checkpoints.
Yeah,
if they don't have that stuff, they don't get promoted.
all right, so why you want to get commitments? I'm going to take just I'm talking about a really quick version of this. Trust me, this is 100% Shane Movement. This has nothing to do with Kirby. Nothing I'm talking about up here I created. Okay, it's very important to know that. Nothing up here I created. So don't come up and say, Kirby's. Wow, it's all there for every one of us. Okay, you just gotta get time, put a little bit of time in to prepare. Shane Rubin did a fast start school, the one that I went RVP at. Shane Rubin was the guest speaker with Warren Powers, I believe it was. And he did a Friday session that literally changed my business. I left that Friday session thinking, how in the hell did I make it to RVP tonight without knowing this? I'm serious. And since this point in time, I literally took about 2 weeks. I went on appointments. I did all that stuff because I had to. Obviously, we can't take 2 weeks off to learn all that stuff. But at night, during the mornings, I spent time in my office learning this because I understood that was the missing link. And ever since that time, 2006, our numbers, and maybe I know this is going to be controversial, but we've never had 8531 since this time, ever. Okay, the reason that I wasn't necessarily that worried about Guild those 80 appointments is because they probably still have those kind of numbers. If we have 30 appointments, which we kind of do, we'll write the same amount of stuff. And we just got, our goal now is we just got to get 80 appointments, and we'll dominate all those curves. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, not saying Gil's a turn, I like Gil.
Yeah.
They've said the same thing about it. So, why you want to get commitments? Anybody here honestly not know what I'm talking about when I say commitments? Okay, perfect. It's best for everyone involved. It's easier for the client to make a logical decision to move forward when there's no money involved. Money psychologically represents security, okay? Money represents security. Let me prove a point. How many of y'all, if you had $1 million in your bank account right now, you'd feel more secure about your future? Okay. And how many of y'all, if I walk into your house and you have $100 to $200 less in your bank account when I leave, how many of you feel less secure? Whenever the good feeling wears off, you feel less secure. It's called buyer's remorse. That's why you close a lot of business on the first night. You're going to have a lot of bad phone calls the next couple of days. Okay? I've done it. I've closed on the first night for a long time, and I've had a lot of those that I had to resell it. Because when the good feeling wears off, why does the good feeling wear off? Because they don't remember what you said, and they just know that they got less money in their bank account. Less secure. You get commitments on the front end, basically is getting them to buy it almost without writing a check. And so now they wake up the next day, they ain't got no more money, they got no money going. They already told themselves before you went there that he's gonna try to sell me something. I know it. You leave the next day, they don't remember all you said, but they know they still got the same amount of security, money, and they learn something. And they're curious about what you're gonna come back with. It's best for the trainee, best for the person sitting on the side of you. Why? Well, because it keeps them off the emotional roller coaster by showing them consistent results. Anybody knows what the emotional roller coaster is? Let's say, for example, Terrence is sitting on the side of me. He's not saying anything. I sold the hell out of him about how good I was, how good this company is, and how awesome he's going to be, how successful he's going to be. We get off an appointment. I do the FNA, don't get good commitments. He don't know any better. He's fired up for the next 2-3 days, knowing he's going to be able to sit at the table that next training class, get some candy, because he's getting to see on a recruit. He's up here. He's seen it work, finally. We go back. And they say, that's looked great, but we need to talk it over. He goes from here to here in a matter of like that. That's a roller coaster. Now he's at the bottom thinking, well, hell, Kirby did a great job, I thought. And he didn't even close? There's no chance that I have here. There's no chance. What chance do I have if he can't even close? You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So the trainee I was training Friday, I knew I didn't get a good commitment from him. So if all of a sudden I left there, and we had to go back, and she was all fired up about to go back, and we went to go back and didn't close it, which one would be easier for me to overcome? That one, or telling her that night, hey, this is why we didn't do it, because I don't want, and she, okay, no problem. Boom, off to the next one. No thoughts about it anymore. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And it's better for, look, the more results they see, the more appointments they'll set. Shane Rubin does a part in that CD. He says if Bill Whittle or if Shane Rubin or if Hector Lamar called you up in your seat, called you and said, hey, look, I'm in town, I have an open night, book 4 or 5 appointments tonight, I'm going to go on with you. How many of us would have 4 or 5 appointments? Because you know for certain you're going to get the Mac Daddies of the trainings, you're going to get some results, and everything that's good that could possibly happen is probably going to happen. Well, how cool would your business be if your people looked at you that way? Yeah. And know that everything you go on, you're pretty much going to turn to gold. They're going to set appointments, guys. Every day of the week. Every day of the week, they're going to set appointments. It also teaches them the right way to field train. One of the reasons that we've had the success we've had, and we're not where we want to be, of course, but we had a pretty good year last year. There's no doubt. I mean, our best January ever was 19 and 19. We're already on like 17, 18 recruits. After this week, we'll be on about 25,000 or so in premium. We're going to hit about 40 and 40 this month. Yeah. The reason why that is because over the last couple of years, we have a handful of people, that's it, a handful of people that have gotten really good at this. That's it. What's exciting about it is that I'm going to have a lot to do with it this week because I got like 8 go-backs to go do this week. Okay, so I'm pretty fired about that.
Yes, indeed.
I know she's pretty fired about that too. I'm pretty fired about that. Yeah. So it's best for the trainer. By tonight, Troy, you like this? By tonight, we should qualify for our personal iPad.
Wow.
So they already got theirs. So I'm pretty excited about that.
I'm the only one clapping. You notice that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's best for the trainer, guys. All of us in here are trainers, right? Except some of us, okay? It's best for the trainer. Why is it best for you? Anybody in here has ever had an appointment that you had to go back on that you knew with almost absolute certainty was going to amount to nothing?
Yep. Like it's like, damn, why am I going on this?
How is you feeling all week long? You can't stop thinking about that one garbage appointment that you got to go on. Yep. Literally, if you're stressed out about it, there's anxiety. You're like, oh God. Because you're thinking of all the worst case scenario. You think, my new recruit's going to be a freaking turd after this. They're going to want to quit. The person's going to, I'm going to waste my time. I could be at home. I could be doing what?
I got to print all this FNA out because I know it ain't.
Print it out. It's going to run my toner down. All that crap. I've been there. So my point is, if it's best for you, if you know that every appointment you go on is going to result in business and a recruit, possibly, then it's going to dramatically lower your own stress. So getting strong commitments lets you know for certain that you'll do business with them, not on the follow-up with them, or not on the follow-up 100%. I don't know, I think that's the title. Do business with them or not. Yeah, do business with them or not on the follow-up. Okay, perfect. Lets you know for certain that you will do business with them or not on the follow-up. 100% close ratio on all go-backs. Okay, that's what you should strive for, and that's what this service here allows us to be able to do. If you sell the value of it, okay. They eliminate most objections. I rarely get an objection. Just completely honest with you, I rarely get. When I was closing on the first night, I was getting them every time. I had to overcome objections. When I was just closing life insurance without doing an FNA, I was literally getting objections every single time. But I listened to the CDs and went to the boot camps and all that stuff, so I was like kind of excited. I'd overcome them. But what I found out was very hard is that it was hard to teach our people to do that because they didn't go to the boot camps. They didn't have to. A lot of them wasn't willing to put $500-600 on a credit card to go to a Tom Hopkins boot camp. A lot of them wasn't going to listen to the CD with Carlos and Bill a million times like I did. So it just made it easier for us to duplicate that throughout the system. Okay, it saves time, no junk FNAs and go backs, builds confidence, makes you money, helps you duplicate success and build a successful team. How? Read the commitment questions directly from the FNA sheets. Understand the meaning of each commitment question. And get the major commitments a minimum of 3 times in 3 different ways. And I just did that with Shade, but a lot of y'all didn't even see what I did. Okay, and I'll repeat that.
Very non-confrontational.
No, it wasn't direct. And look, guys, I'm going to tell you. I tell them specifically, what I'm asking for is a commitment. Don't beat around the bush, man. People respect telling you, tell me what you want. Don't beat around the bush like a salesperson would. You know what I'm saying? Just tell me what you want to, So I'm going to show you an example of that in a minute. Tell the client why you're asking for a commitment. It's not a commitment unless they truly know what they are committing to. Because there's a way, if you ask them, hey, look, if I come back and everything's better for you, would you implement that program when I come back? And they say, sure, yeah, we'll take a look at it. Oh, okay, great, got a commitment. That's like saying, hey, look, we got a meeting Tuesday night, come. And and then you tell your upline, I got an invite. That's not an invite unless they tell you their butt's going to be there. Okay. So commitment is the same way. You got to get them to say, look, I'm gonna do this if it's better for them. Okay. And what you'll find is I forgot the book that says, is it Go for No? I believe it is. That says that 90% of all sales are done after the fourth no. After you keep asking over and over and over, and you don't want to say, hey, you want to do this, Gerard? No. 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 You want to do this, Gerard? And all of a sudden he says, yes. That doesn't work that way. You got it. That's why you want to get, guys. That's why you want to get the commitment 3 times. Listen, what I'm telling you here. Get the commitment 3 times that night. Then you make a phone call to them the night before, saying, hey, listen, just to re-clarify our objections. Whenever I come back, you said these things here. Is that still true? If I come back and show you how to fix this, you're getting the 4th commitment then, and then you're getting that 5th commitment when you present the presentation. After that, you don't ask anything. You just close. Right. Yeah, call them up and say, man, Shay, this plan is unfreaking believable, dude. You're going to be so excited. Like, I really would like to leave my house now and come show you. But here's the thing. I'm not. So I'm going to be there tomorrow night. Just want to make sure that you're still on the same page with me. Is retiring well at 55 still something that's a goal of yours? Is getting out of debt quicker rather than later still a goal of yours? And is protecting your family still a high priority? Well, you're going to love what I have to show you because I'm going to show you to fix all those things.
It also stops them from doing the FNA 5 minutes before they have to go to the appointment. They have to do the work up front.
Yeah.
And they actually have to learn how to use the FNA instead of just reading it for the first time.
Bingo. So, after story, look, guys, use a personal story to get to understand. And I use this. Shane has his own one. Look, the reason I'm asking this commitment, Shane, is that I've already sat down with somebody, and you guys know it. I sat down with these people and I broke down policies and did the FNA. We went back and they said, man, we knew this was going to be good. We didn't know it was going to be that good. And then I asked them to get started with it, and they said, no, we're not doing it with you. And I said, well, why not? They said, well, my cousin's a licensed agent at another company. We want to keep the business in the family. Now, I understand that. Okay, but cousin could have done all the work. And what you'll have 100% of the time when you say this, the client's going to be like, what an asshole. What a jerk that. Well, I'm sorry, I'm on Content Cafe, and I'm on whatever it is, and I've said bad word.
That's all right.
So the client's going to look at you.
I'm not the only one.
The client's going to, listen guys, the client's going to look at you and be like, wow, that was rude. Best thing you could ever hear. That's like music to your ear. Because now they're telling themselves that they're rude if they do the same thing. Make sense? Right. So, Shade, after I tell that story, Shade, all I'm asking is that if we can do something better for you and Tammy, and you guys see that and you see that is for you, when I come back, can we move forward with it? That's all I'm asking. So in other words, when I come back, if you see that it's better for you in every sense of the word, it's all within your means, anything that's stopping you from doing it. No. Guys, guess what? That's ironclad as it can get. Because I know when I go back, if they all of a sudden say anything stupid, they know that they just said this. And I try to set the appointment relatively as close to that one as I can within a day or two, so that way those things are still fresh in their mind. I've had people tell me this many times. Call me, or when I called them that night before, this is how you know you got good commitments. You didn't ask for a check or anything like that, but when you call them back and they say, hey, listen, I get paid on Friday. So if we get together tomorrow on Thursday, is that going to be okay? Yes. That's going to be great. Okay, you know what I'm saying? They know they cut the check when you come back. Does that make sense? Confirm the commitment. If tension builds, sometimes you'll start to see this tension. If tension builds, say out loud what they're thinking. Look, shit, I know what you're thinking. You're probably thinking, oh, I'm just trying to sell you something, blah, blah, blah. But if I were trying to sell you something, wouldn't I be trying to do that right now? A good point. So, and I already told you, if it's not better for you, I'm not even going to come back. Because you have enough common sense and intelligence to know if the plan's not good for you or not, right? I mean, if you're going from here to Disney World and your GPS says to go west, you probably wouldn't follow the GPS, right? Not a good idea. So the point is that you're going to see if it's better for you or not. That's all I'm asking you to do. And when you address it, guess what happens?